So yesterday I was being held hostage by my cats, and I made an observation. Let me explain. So yesterday I was supposed to watch The Rum Diary, but all my cats fell asleep on top of me on the couch, and I couldn't get up to put The Rum Diary in the PlayStation, so I watched James and the Giant Peach instead. But here's what I have learned. The 1996 adaptation of James and the Giant Peach is one of the best representations of a live-action-ish Miyazaki film. Crush Parking Lot Candy, what the fuck are you on about? So for the purpose of this, I am not talking about the claymation portion of the film, I'm just talking about the live action portion. But most of the backgrounds in this movie are basically paintings with people over them, a lot like Miyazaki films where they have beautiful watercolor paintings as backgrounds, and then you have your animated characters here in the front. And yes, technically you have movies that use painted backgrounds, but something about this movie, just the way the real life blends with the painting, looks like you're shooting an entire movie over Bob Ross, and it's gorgeous. Whimsical, if you will. Moving on. The transition scenes between live action and claymation are genius. On its way into the claymation portion, you have like this black silhouette because it's climbing through a giant peach with no light. Obviously, you're not going to be able to see it, so going from one to the other. And I couldn't find a photo of it, but at the end where he's going from claymation back to live action, they use the glow of the red blinky light on top of the Empire State Building, so you don't really see him change from one to the other. He is just one and then the other. So instead of bad CGI, it's just camera tricks. And by the way, did you know Richard Dreyfuss was the centipede? Did you know Susan Sarandon was the spider? Truly, I'll go to bat saying that this is a perfect movie. Now here's the thing, I also have a theory. Bear with me here. Now here's the other thing, I have a theory, but this theory is based off somebody who in fact did not read the book, so bear with me here. So when James is about 9 years old, his parents are killed in some way, shape, or form by a rhinoceros who lives in the clouds. And I spent a lot of time last night thinking, what the hell does the rhinoceros represent? Is it like a physical rhinoceros that lives in the clouds? Because that's what the movie shows. But considering this is a child's point of view, it's got to represent something else, right? I'm thinking one of two things. Either A, it's because he is 9 years old and somebody said that his parents were killed by a wino and he thought they said rhino. Or B. And B seems to be the more logical explanation to me. So according to online, the timeline of James and the Giant Peach takes place anywhere between 1931 and 1961. And we know from the map that they are sailing the Peach from somewhere in England over to New York. Hence, they had to go over the ocean. Do you know what lives in the sky and sounds really scary around the 1930s, 1940s? Bomber planes. I think his parents may have been taken out by a bomber plane during World War II. So overall, this gets at a 10 out of 10, and I consider it a perfect movie. Peaches, 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 peaches.